Well, as a human being, I believe in forgiveness because it adds value to our lives. When you forgive, you liberate yourself from the negativity that was imposed on you. When you forgive, you also liberate the other party to know that human beings ought to be kind and gracious to their fellow human beings. But when you don't forgive, you're carrying a burden upon you that has just been imposed by another person altogether. When you forgive, you get rid of the burden. You walk lightly and easily and continue with your own things. But when you don't forgive, you're binding your heart with lots of regrets, with lots of negativity, with lots of acrimony. That is unnecessary anyway. But whenever you choose to forgive, as so you should, never forget. I don't believe in forgetting whenever I forgive. Because if you forget, but it's even difficult to forget in the first place. So how can you forget how somebody clobbered you? It's hard, especially when you have the scars. So not forgetting is important too, or not assuming. Let me talk of assuming, because forgetting is hard, but you don't need to assume that the person you forgave will never hurt you again. You have to be careful whenever you forgive people. Because if you forgive somebody and you're not careful, they might be tempted to hurt you again next time. When you're practicing forgiveness, you must also practice carefulness with the people you forgive. Forgiving somebody doesn't mean you still have the opportunity to invite them back into your life and to allow them have the same authority and the same advantages that they had before the negativity that they imposed on you. No, you don't want to do that. That would be the most reckless thing to do as a human being. You have to protect yourself from the person who did wrong to you and you decided to give. Well, what is forgiving then? I think forgiving is just deciding that you are done with somebody, that you don't want to hurt them despite all the hardship they caused you, or despite all the negativity and the impurities of life they imposed on you. Just telling them that, you know what, we are done. This is over. Let's get over it. So, whenever you meet them, whenever you have to still work with them, you don't have to treat them as badly as you would, having it in your mind that they offended you before. Forgiving somebody is simply deciding to liberate them from your heart, so that whenever you have to treat them or to do whatever kind of kindness that you decide to do to other people, and you also have them in that category of people, then you don't put them aside. You just do unto them as you would have done to other people too. But taking in mind, as I have said, that you're not the kind of person who assumes. When you forgive somebody, you also decide to create a line that if they pass, you don't allow it anymore. Because you can't allow them to go into the territory that they once visited and created a harm or an injury in. You can't allow that. Otherwise, you will be putting yourself in danger. Forgiving people does not mean you have the kind of heart that allows the person who hurt you to still have the opportunity to have a say in your life. No, indeed not. So, as a Christian, as a human being, as a citizen of this world, I believe forgiveness is important, and at the same time, I believe assuming is not helpful if you have chosen to forgive. Because when you don't forgive somebody, And when you want to do the same thing that you did, the same act of kindness that you did to them, that they used to offend you, to another person, when you don't forgive them, you can't even go ahead and do that which you chose to do, that act of kindness to another person altogether. So let's learn to forgive, but at the same time, let's not assume.